Hello everyone, I'm Randy Suarez, aka Silvercoat. Today we're back here with another reaction. This time, the first time on me reacting to this person, Penguin Zero, aka Moist Critical, aka Charlie. Technically it's about Vince McMahon. The title of the video is called "This Man Is Evil." So I had some personal feelings about this due to the fact that one, how can I put this? One of my favorite divas passed away I think during 2020 or 2019. I'm not trying to figure that one out. And let's just say he kind of had a part into it because he did some shady things that's very very frowned upon, and I like to hear his opinion about it. So if you like any of this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe to Penguin Zero. I will leave the link to this video down below. So and like I said, I'm a big wrestling fan. For someone who's technically was a tycoon in the wrestling business, to get to from where he was to how he is right now is very disappointing. Very. But anyway, further ado, buckle up and let's get started.
All of you know I'm a huge wrestling enthusiast.
Same.
I absolutely love it more than Garfield loves lasagna. So much so that we actually have our own wrestling league, the Moist Wrestling League, and we even dropped our most recent episode a few days ago. This isn't meant to be a plug for it or anything. This is actually a really serious topic. The reason I mention that is because I'm just showcasing my passion for this craft. And for the longest time now, many decades, there has been this stain in the wrestling industry with a boogeyman that sits atop the food chain. His name is Vince McMahon. He is a cockroach that no amount of pest control can seem to get rid of. I'm confident even if you don't follow wrestling closely, you know Vince McMahon. He is extraordinarily...
Yes, it's sometimes you watch it with your grandfather, sometimes you watch it with your grandmother when it comes to WWE or WWF at the time content. And to hear the allegations and actually see the proof, like legit see the proof, it's astonishing. Due to the fact that you gave us entertainment, but this is how you working in, like, literally behind the scenes. Like, bro, what's the matter? Aren't you married? What the hell's the matter with you? And like I said in the beginning of the video, it's very disappointing because this is insane. Like, bro,
wealthy, and he has infested tons of other things even outside of just the wrestling industry. And this man is downright evil. He has a laundry list of deplorable, disgusting, heinous acts that would make the devil flinch. Ooh. I've talked about him at length quite a bit on streams and even in a couple of videos in the past, so I'm not going to be focusing on his sins from the past here. I highly encourage all of you to just Google his name. It's not hard to find any of this information. It's all just right there, out in the open, right there at your fingertips. It is horrible stuff. I'm not talking about just like some drama where he was mean behind the scenes, which of course he was. I'm talking about covering up crimes, sexual misconduct. The list goes on and on and on, seemingly no end. And that's just what we...
Yeah, and definitely covering up crimes due to the fact that at the end of the day, to give you one fact, this whole thing with Jimmy Snuka. If you have not watched the Dark Side of the Ring, I do recommend you watch that. If I remember correctly, season 2 of Dark Side of the Ring, with the whole thing with Jimmy Snuka. And basically, even they said, yeah, it felt like it was a whole cover-up.
No, there's probably still tons and tons of skeletons in that fucking closet. But anyway, the reason I'm talking about Vince McMahon again today is he is now at the center of another massive lawsuit here that has actually forced his hand and had him resign from his position at the WWE/UFC. They recently merged the multi-billion-dollar deal, and Vince McMahon, in light of all of this, has stepped down. The information comes from someone named Janelle Grant, who worked at the WWE's headquarters and is accusing the company's founder, Vince McMahon, of sexual assault, sex trafficking, and physical abuse in the lawsuit that was filed on Thursday. According to the lawsuit, Grant alleged that McMahon promised a job and later promotions at
Okay. In the lawsuit filed in Connecticut District Court, Grant allegated that McMahon promised a job and later promotion at WWE in exchange for sex. Grant's lawsuit also includes allegations that McMahon trafficked her and other men inside well, inside and outside of the company, including John Laurinaitis, former wrestler who worked in the company talent relations department, who also named as a defiant in the lawsuit. Oh, the defendant. It's a defiant. In the lawsuit, the Wall Street Journal has first reported the lawsuit.
WWE in exchange for sex, and the lawsuit also includes allegations that McMahon trafficked her to other men inside and outside of the company. And there is a couple of names that get dropped that are some very big, alarming names, obviously. Now, even if you're not part of the wrestling community, I bet you've heard some buzz about this lawsuit because some text messages allegedly leaked from it, as well as some of the claims in the lawsuit are extraordinarily disturbing. Like,
Yeah.
it is some depraved shit. And I mean shit, literally. One of the big parts of this lawsuit that was popping off on Twitter, like general Twitter, was this section where Miss Grant is talking about a threesome that McMahon put her in, and
Hold on. Early in the encounter, McMahon immediately directed to Miss Grant to lay down on her back and ooh. Oh. Miss Grant to remain in place. Oh. Oh God. Oh God. No. Oh, you sick fuck.
he says, early in the encounter, McMahon immediately directed Miss Grant to lay down on her back in a supplicating position. While straddling over her, McMahon defecated on Miss Grant's head. McMahon left to shower off, but he instructed Miss Grant to remain in place with excrement in her hair and to continue performing for his friend. While Miss Grant requested protection, none was offered. McMahon and physical therapist actively continued with the threesome and directed Miss Grant's sexual performance for around an hour and a half while she was left covered in feces.
Ew.
Absolutely sickening and sadly
Yeah.
not surprising behavior from Vince McMahon. I believe this is only the tip of the iceberg. I think this is the first domino to fall, and there's going to be a lot more information that comes out about some of the degeneracy, some of the crimes and awful shit that was going on behind the scenes under Vince McMahon here. Now, I saw quite a few people caught off guard by this, surprised to learn that Vince McMahon is a bad guy. They were wondering how this stayed buried or how any of the sexual misconduct allegations didn't
I wasn't caught off guard. I was caught off guard how graphic the situation is. Like how deeply graphic it is. That was caught catching me off guard.
surface sooner. Like, how was it all kept a secret? I had to do a bit of a double take when I saw that. I got fucking stun-locked for a second. Now, of course, it's no one's fault. I don't blame anyone for not knowing about Vince McMahon's past. Like, if you're not an active wrestling fan, there's a really good chance you just didn't know any of this about him. But the only secret here is that there was no secret. Everyone knew about Vince McMahon's sexual degeneracy. Vince McMahon's sexual degeneracy is about as much of a secret as smoking cigarettes being bad for your health. This fucking ghoul paid nearly $15 million in hush money to quiet 4 women who were bringing up claims of sexual misconduct.
See, that was brought up a year and a half ago when it came to that. And that was very, 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 very frowned upon. If you can see how WWE is back then, like a few years, like literally a year and a half ago, compared to now under Triple H, it has improved astonishingly. As the product has improved, the people, the atmosphere of the locker room, everything has improved without him there, which is very telling that this man is not a good man.
Against
That and he didn't know what the hell he was doing
that had occurred
when it comes to the product, by the way. But everything else that he was doing behind the scenes, if you catch my meaning, he knew what the fuck he was doing.
for a period of 16 years. And that's actually why he previously stepped down. Now, of course, he stepped back up into a prominent position with the company after the merger with the UFC, and now he is stepping down again, once again, from sexual misconduct claims. So it's just never really been a secret that this decaying corpse, this fucking revolting gremlin of a man, is a horrifying piece of shit. It's just more people are opening their eyes to Vince McMahon being this fiend. Thanks to Janelle Grant's lawsuit really making waves and highlighting a lot of previously unknown things like the sex trafficking and some of the other names that were included here to show how deep this rabbit hole goes and how awful all of it was. Now, sexual misconduct is something Vince McMahon calls home, so this isn't his first rodeo, and he tried to cover his own ass. Not literally, because he shit on someone's head, but legally tried to cover himself by trying to pressure Grant into signing a non-disclosure agreement in exchange for payments over several years totaling $3 million after their relationship and employment ended. So he was trying to silence her, to make sure she wouldn't, blow the lid off of this. Now, I'm no lawyer, I'm no expert, but I don't think a non-disclosure agreement protects you in the case of crimes. Like, I don't think if you're sex trafficking someone, you can have all of your victims sign an NDA, and then they can't speak about it, you're safe. And if they do speak about it, they're the ones in trouble. I just can't imagine a world where if Grant signs that non-disclosure agreement and then goes forward with bringing this information to light, that she would face punishment for it. Like, I can't even picture that kind of lunacy. Like, listen, ma'am, we're really sorry about that sex trafficking thing. That's bad stuff. But you violated your NDA. And breaking an NDA is so much worse. You're going to prison. You're going to the slammer for that. You don't violate the contract. It's sacred. It's binding. Like, I just don't think an NDA protects you in the case of a crime being committed.
No.
Again, I'm not an expert, though. The only NDAs I've ever signed were to play a video game early, not poop on someone's skull, among other horrible, horrible acts, allegedly. It's fucking scary stuff, what was going on behind the scenes at the WWE with Vince McMahon. The parent company has issued a bit of a statement here. The parent company is TKO Group Holdings, and they said that McMahon doesn't control TKO or oversee day-to-day operations at the WWE, and that while this matter predates our TKO executive team's tenure at the company, we take Ms. Grant's horrific allegations very seriously and are addressing this matter internally. And a spokesperson for Vince McMahon also made a statement and said that the lawsuit was replete with lies, obscene made-up instances that never occurred, and a vindictive distortion of the truth. He will vigorously defend himself. I wish he would vigorously try and dive into a wrestling ring and tear both of his quads again. This is an evil man, and he has been evil for the entire time he has been with the company. And more people are starting to see this now.
No.
He is a fucking stain in the industry. I know there is still a lot of Vince McMahon fans because they separate art from the artist. He plays a character in the WWE, the commissioner, and he has been kind of iconic in the scene. I get that. Like, there is a lot of great WWE moments that, unfortunately, Vince McMahon is there for and was a big part of.
Yeah.
Like, he played the role well. But as a person, he is terrible and a horrible person to have at the position of power that he does in the industry. He shouldn't be in the industry. He shouldn't even be outside of a fucking jail cell for the things he's done. Like, I can't separate art from the artist when it comes to something like this. I just can't do it. I know there are people that are, and I'm not, like, mad at you for it or anything, but I can't. He is just absolute trash, scum, the lowest of the low, and I will, of course, be keeping my eyes on this lawsuit as everything continues to develop here. I just wanted to give you, like, the very bare bones of it, like, the basics. There is so much to it. I urge anyone out there that's curious to take a look, but just fair warning, it is disturbing. It's very not pleasant to read.
Oh.
So, yeah, just wanted to talk about it a bit. That's it.
Here's the thing. I don't know what this...
So, yeah.
If the bare minimum that he just gave was very... Oh, my God. Imagine the whole thing. Ugh. Man. Anyway. It's like I said, it's very disappointing. And yet disgusting what this person, what Mr. McMahon or Vince McMahon has basically have done, you know. And the point that there's legit proof, it's just digging the knife deeper in him. You know, he wants to defend himself. There's no point in defending yourself if there's legit proof. So, anyway. That being said, what is your thoughts about the whole thing with Vince McMahon? Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, please take care of yourselves. Stay safe, stay warm, and peace out.
Little questions is everything they know about you.